Hey everyone. So the skills that I am talking about today include selective attention and pacing. It's our job as counselors to make sure that the session goes along according to plan. And that starts with pacing. We want to make sure that we're managing the session well, starting from the very beginning to the very end. If you have 50-minute sessions, you want to just be mindful of the time. If you are getting close to the end of the session, you may want to let the client know that you have 5 minutes left or 2 minutes left, whatever feels comfortable based on kind of your relationship with the client. Particularly with children, it's important to let them know and give them a heads up when the session's getting close to coming to a close. You want to be especially mindful of this because clients sometimes have a tendency to drop a big bomb at the end of a session. So if you start to feel like they're heading in that direction, then you may want to just let them know how much time you have left, so that you're not running over your time. Also, there's pacing within the session. So you have pacing in the sense that you're looking at the bigger picture and managing the session and making sure that you're staying true to time. You're respecting the time of your client and also of yourself and of your next client. Because if you have a client obviously waiting out in the waiting room, then you want to be mindful of that as well. But also you want to pace appropriately within the sessions. So I know for myself, I sometimes have a tendency to speak somewhat quickly. You may have noticed in some of my videos when I trip over my words, I can speak a little bit quickly. So I am mindful of that because that's just one of my things. You might also find yourself getting sucked into the rhythm of the client. So if they are speaking really rapidly, your energy might pick up a little bit, or if their energy is down, you might match that energy. But we want to be intentional about how we're matching energy. So if we're matching energy because we think that that is therapeutic and we're really connecting with that client and maybe reflecting some feeling or really getting on that emotional level with the client, that's great. But if we are just matching because our mirror neurons are firing and we're just getting sucked into their pacing, then we don't want to do that because that's not intentional. So pacing is really important. And then we obviously want to be mindful of a skill called selective attention. So let's say that a client is telling you a super long story and they're getting kind of lost in the details. And it's kind of going on and on, they're rambling a little bit, but you notice that there's a big emotional tidbit that they've given you. You may want to pause them and say, well, it sounds like when that event happened, it really brought up some deep emotions in you. Can you tell me more about that? So you're putting the attention on the important stuff and you're not getting sucked up in the minutia. That's selective attention. You can use this, obviously to kind of help the client focus when they start to ramble, or if they're telling multiple stories, sometimes they have a tendency to bounce from here to there to there. So you can focus them by using a selective attention, but you can also help them dig deeper. So you're using it as a therapeutic tool. You're guiding the session in a way that you feel will have emotional depth or help you get closer to your goals, your client's goals. So that is the way that you would use selective attention. So it's also important just to be mindful of this. So like at the beginning, you're going to be just practicing your skills, and that's totally fine. This is a little bit more of an advanced skill. So just worry about reflecting feeling, reflecting content, all those things. But as you start to progress and you start to understand really the deeper meaning and the essence of what that client's sharing with you and what they want to work on, what you can help them work on, then you can start using selective attention to bring attention to those things that will help move the client along. So it'll start to make sense to you as the process unfolds, but that's really what selective attention is and what pacing is. So Those are skills to be mindful of and to utilize when you are structuring your time with clients. And that's all I have for today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.